but won't get locked out of white spells, while Zarby's running the double red mage. A little bit more flexibility if you've got good early black magic can really pay off. But as I think we saw in the race with Ice Blue recently, Ice Blue against Fuzzy Mage, part of the upset there was that Ice Blue got locked out of white magic, life, and life 2.
Speaking of locked out magic, white magic level 1 in Canaria. Fade is in the second slot. Is Zarby rerolling?
Oh yeah, he's going right for it at this point. Life 2 is going to be learnable by everybody, though, which is going to be great.
Level 1 black magic. Fourth slot, really doesn't matter the slot. N-U-K-E. Zarby did not check that. Does not know that Nuke is there.
So he did not need to reroll.
Okay. Well, two white mages now for Zarby. Do you re-roll, Demerai? Do you even consider that here?
I mean, I think if I were re-rolling there, you have to check both spell shops before you re-roll. Oh, here's the facepalm.
There it is. Nuke and Fade at the same level. You'd rather have it level 1, level 2. That's more of an ideal situation, but they're there. Yeah. At least you got them. They're at level 7, right?
The thing with Nuke is that he could actually re-roll back to double reds and be in fantastic shape, but it looks like he wants those life 2 charges also. But he'd get those on the red mages anyhow. He
would. 20,000 gold GreenCleric not messing around, already in the Temple of Fiends right now. The first chest in the lower left-hand corner, 20,000 gold. Both of our players are going to like to see that.
Yeah, gonna get their economy jump started in case of like a mid-cost caravan item. Or just, grabbing up your level 2, 3, and 4 spells pretty easily.
Zarby not far behind at all. Even with the reroll, Zarby has made it to the Temple of Fiends. GreenCleric is taking on Garland. With a nuke spell from GreenCleric, 336 damage. Down goes Garland.
It's really hard to get excited about down goes Garland when you're hitting him for like 4 times his health pool.
Yeah, but you always wanted to use, back when you were a kid, nuke on Garland, some sort of Fade or Ice 3, and now you can do it right here with Final Fantasy Randomizer.
This is very true. Why do you get all those fun spells at, like, level 9 or something? Like, well, level 8 is the cap level, but still, there's a rod and a cube to start us off, which means that there's a bridge loose in the world someplace close by. Definitely not ideal, but, since GreenCleric did get all 3 chests in Fiends, knows that there's got to be a ship or a bridge over in Dwarf Cave to the west to get us started. And also, what 20,000 gold will get you is an awful lot of stock in cabins as well.
Lots of camping gear. GreenCleric putting that to work, picking up a whole bunch of items. Meanwhile, Zarby has caught up pretty well, doing a little bit of shopping himself. He's gone ahead and picked up the rod and the cube from the King and Sarah, respectively.
Yep, and gonna grab a set of silver armor for his warrior as well, so gonna make sure that he's well evasive.
We'd certainly like to welcome you here to Randomania. This beautiful early spring, late summer, late spring, June. Demarine 2, Wookliosis here, joined by JLo, our tracker. JLo7 taking care of that, our restreamer tonight. Wolfman 2000, thank you for bringing us into your homes.
Yeah, as always, an absolute pleasure watching as Wolves and Grey Wolves are just picking away at life totals before large waves of nukes and or fades can go off and take them away. But starting to make progress towards the Dwarf Cave, where, knows that there are 2 chests waiting.
Bridge or ship, Demeron? Bridge or ship?
I always have a preference for bridge, that's my jam, but, let's make it interesting. Let's get a ship seed going.
All right, I'm going to stick with the bridge. It's usually what I've seen, certainly in the many, many games that I've played. We'll find out real quick as GreenCleric is closing in on the Dwarf Cave. Couple of encounters here pretty early. It looks like Zarby's found a little bit of a hole. He's going to hit these encounters. And there it is, a bridge in a box for GreenCleric over in the Dwarf Cave.
Not far to go this time, so makes sense that they'll be able to get that set up in Corneria. The engineer team at the Dwarf Cave is usually pretty good.
GreenCleric also picks up an opal helmet this early in the game. You know, you got the 20,000 gold. You feel pretty good with that. You got Fade, you got Nuke, you got Life 2 as an option. Do you sell the opal helmet if you need it? Vendor item, maybe?
I mean, if you've got pro rings in Provoca and they're fairly inexpensive, I'm trading a opal helmet for 3 or 4 pro rings right off the bat.
No, good idea. Gold bracelets potentially as well.
Yeah, they tend to range a little higher, but the amount of absorb that gold bracelets give you are usually exceptional. It's exactly where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Minochi85 joining us in chat. Thank you for joining us, Minochi. Our first 5-0 player. Won all 5 matches, all 5 weeks, the opening Swiss round here. He's going to move on to the bracket stage, be a top-tier seed. We're going to be seeing a lot of Minochi85 coming up. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, his run through this tournament's been really impressive. A lot of good times, a lot of, resiliency. That experience just shining through in 5 matches of this tournament.
GreenCleric is headed to Matoya's Cave. Going to check out the 3 chests there. Picks up about 2,000 gold. A little over 2,000 gold total. Doesn't like it. Goes ahead and resets. Back to the save point near the forest area. Headed towards Provoca.
How much gold do you need to see in those chests to go and say, I actually want to keep those?
At least 8,000 maybe. I might want 6. But I would probably say for me about 8,000. Or some sort of quickly equipable weapon. A dragon sword. A coral sword. That on top of maybe, 5,000 to 6,000, I would go ahead and take it. Otherwise, reset, let's get on our way. This is a race, and it is early. You never want to get behind early.
No, there are certainly ways to catch up, and, you can catch breaks along the way. Sometimes when you're suffering through hardship, your opponent's got to see the same things. But, you always want to be reliant on making sure that you're making those sharp decisions on what to take.
Zarby's also headed to Matoya. We'll see whether or not he resets or if he takes it. Meanwhile, Life in level 2 White Magic with Life 2 already. In level 1, you can never have enough life.
You never have enough life charges. Probably too many, though. But Harm 3 is a nice spell to see there for sure. Going to give you some options against the undead. Go ahead.
Black Magic Ice 3 in level 2. That might get a workout.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a lot of charges of Nuke, but Ice 3 does a lot of work as well. Not going to do any work for Zarby, though, because not going to have access to it. Also, Fog 2 is a solid defensive option in the endgame. Some people believe in it a little bit more, stacking up armor instead of stacking up evasion. There's a lot to be said for it.
The pirates have been taken out by GreenCleric. He has a chit-chat with Bicky. Bicky surrenders, gives in, promises no more harm to the beautiful, beautiful city of Provoca that no one would ever attempt to take out with their airship. Hands over the canoe to GreenCleric's light warriors.
It is absolutely the prettiest city in the game, without a doubt.
Pro rings for sale in Provoca. 24,000 gold.
Yeah, that's not the price you want to see those at. We were hoping to maybe knock that, 6 off of one of the ends there.
Yeah. Zarby has caught up, is in Provoca with GreenCleric now. Still has to take on the pirates and talk to Bicky, but pretty even match so far.
Yep, just lining up a spade charge here, so once it goes off, the pirates will be sent back to the sea.
One of the new features coming in Final Fantasy Randomizer, we've talked about it a little bit, Trap Tiles Shuffle. If you go into the Volcano Armory, you're so used to taking on the Grey Worm right in the middle, in the center there to get those chests. Could be shuffled. Could be 4 gas dragons. Could be a bunch of imps with a Grey Imp. Could be a couple of fires. You don't know. One of the shuffles that we have coming up here, new features coming in Final Fantasy Randomizer. It is in alpha right now. little bit later on, we'll talk about some of the other new things that we're working on as well to bring the fans of Randomania and Final Fantasy.
GreenCleric on this has had to use up a couple of cabins to get through the swamp on the east side of the world there because they were traced. And they've got Rub and Thunder. So
woo!
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got spells and they've got skills. Rub is their spell. It looks like they have a more liking to use that spell. Thunder is a skill, and they've got that as well. Speaking of skills, Glance from, I think that was the Hydra?
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but Hydra is not the worst thing to see a power skill on because they only show up in rivers outside, so you can usually cabin your way through them. Geists show up in Earth Cave, they show up in Ice Cave, and they show up in groups.
Yes, Geists are oftentimes required in the Ice Cave too on that main trap tile, and sometimes they can be required multiple times. Yeah.
Right, runners neck and neck hitting the river system together. GreenCleric trying to find a way away from these Hydras either via nuke or sprinting. And Zarby's going to try and scoop up some experience from these Caribs on the river as well.
Could use the cabins for GreenCleric navigating the river system. He's the first one to make it to Crescent Lake, immediately to the item shop, looking for a vendor item. Does not find it. Does find cheap tents at 26 gold.
Yep, and until we've got the floater stone in our possession, you will go through an awful lot of those.
Incentivized item here in Crescent Lake. It's with the Circle of Sages. Another new feature. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But, Demarine, what do you think the Circle of Sages has in store for our runners tonight?
I mean, I think both of these runners have gone through a lot of hardship and a lot of tough times, so they really deserve a floater stone here. Like they've earned it at they've earned it at this point.
Speaking of floaters, there it is, the floater. We are nearing the 11-minute mark, the 12-minute mark now. And the floater has been located by GreenCleric. Right behind him is Zarby. He's going to get his floater as well.
Yep. You know, again, they're giving us what we've expected through the first 12 and a half minutes here. A good solid run down around the world, over the bridge. Keeping good pace with each other.
A comment from chat, Demarine. The new old musical says, make all fiends Kraken too. I don't know about that one.
As the resident white mage, the answer to that is no.
It's unbelievable how Kraken finds the white mage and the white wizard to just whack and completely obliterate.
Yeah, Zarby has the advantage. Zarby's got two of them. Kraken will be very confused.
GreenCleric does went ahead and cashed in his floater, picked up his airship, and is on a trip around the world, it looks like.
Yep. Probably just taking a second, getting his bearings. No big deal. Looking to, make that next routing decision, which can always be a little bit tough. And looks like that next routing decision will be the Sage Sarda.
Just went on a scenic tour of the world. It's a beautiful, beautiful world here, Final Fantasy. Makes his way to Sarda to go ahead and pick up his incentivized item, which is the bottle.
Alright. So there are two items that you tend to want to have together, which is the bottle and the slab, because you have to turn both of those into other items on this flag set. The bottle turns into the Oxial at Gaia, and then the slab, once translated, you can use to go get the chime down in Lefane, and the landing spots for those are right next to one another. So trip planning is really important, especially in these flags.
Zarby elects to head back to Elfland and fill out some spell lists. GreenCleric picks up the incentivized item, checks the Titan's Trove, and now heads north. Maybe the Cardia Islands, perhaps?
We shall see. No, gonna stop Caravan first, looking for that vendor item, and finds a vendor item. So, at level 3 magic, by the way, two really important spells, Harm 4, and more importantly, Cure 4.
65,000 max price gold for, as Palombium would say, a slab.
with
is
two
the vendor
exclamation
item.
points. With
Two exclamation points.
Well, most routing things are going to maybe go out the window at this point. That's a lot of money.
Good information to have early. Not good information. It's good to have the information early, but not good information to have early.
All information is good information. It just means that chests with money are like the most important thing ever.
Forced black belt in this seed. GreenCleric does have the fighter on top as the lead light warrior. Zarby still has the black belt in the first slot. White shirt pickup in the Cardia Islands for GreenCleric.
Right. That allows you to wave the shirt and cast Invis 2 on your party. So again, speaking of those end-game buffs and stacking up your evasion in this case,
Right.
the white shirt also is great for your white mage in general for defensive purposes as well.
GreenCleric going for a walk around the beautifully colored Cardia Islands inside the treasure chest room.
And with Nuke and Fade in tow, first going to go and pop that bottle while Zarby's going to go grab these chests from the treasure trove of the Titan.
GreenCleric has headed to Gaia now. Pop the bottle. Gonna check out the armor shop really quick. There's the gold bracelets that we talked about. 9,000 gold, not bad. Is it going for them?
It's tough knowing that there's a 65,000 gold slab out there, but you know the defense is super helpful, so it may be worth spending a little bit right now for the protection later.
Again, good information to have. Knows where the gold bracelets are. Should you not be able to dig up some sort of good armor. The white shirt will certainly help for the white wizard after class promotion. We have not located the tail yet. Could be an ice cave, could be in the waterfall, could be in Castle Ordeals.
All right, and GreenCleric, after a moment of thought, decides to fly due south and has landed the airship in front of the ice cave.
Ice cave. Yeah, GreenCleric thinks better of it. Has left the ice cave and headed toward the volcano. I think GreenCleric thinks better of it again. Has left the volcano now and headed back to Elfland Castle to try to smash it.
No, GreenCleric is making the right call after a moment of deliberation, which is let me go grab my level 3 spells. Bane at level 3 for black magic is not a bad pickup, certainly. Won't help you in Ice Cave, but it will help in a lot of other places.
Wake up, you prince! Wake up!
And there's Cure 4, which is, of course, you know, the second best healing spell in the game.
Small form, Saturday night shenanigans here. Randomania, Demarine 2, Wukliosis here. Pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to work with Demarine.
Yep. This part of the game tends to be a little bit on the slow side. There's Fast at level 4. That's a key spell that Zarby's not going to get his hands on today.
Right. Was that Quad X, I believe, as well?
Yeah, it was also Quad X.
Yeah.
When you absolutely positively need to kill something with 299 hit points.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't resist. I'm trying to think of the enemies that will actually resist the Quad X, even if they have 1 HP left. Nightmares, I believe, are one of them.
Most of the undead.
The undead will resist it too? Okay.
Yeah.
Scums will do it. Some guy named Chaos will do it.
Well, that explains why Quad X wasn't working on Chaos in practice.
Yep. Chaos resistant, and I believe Lich 2 might resist that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
And we've got Exit is the key white magic at level 5, so the ability to bail out of a dungeon will speed things up a good bit. Or let you just save experience if things are going horrifically wrong.
GreenCleric, after the tour, has decided to forego Ice Cave like we thought, I believe, and headed to the volcano. Adamant! Ooh.
That's in a tough chest. Like, this early on, it's probably an easy pickup for everybody, but that's in a pretty marginal spot, so we'll see if GreenCleric goes for it.
Not quite yet, it doesn't look like. Do you skip that chest? What do you do?
I skip that all the time, unless it's really early in the game. There's a boat in a box for GreenCleric in the armory. Keebs are fairly dangerous when you have no armor because they're going to punch through you pretty quickly.
Especially when they can paralyze you like that.
Yeah. Gets away with the black belt dying, which I think is ideal at this point. Everybody else is still on their feet, so we take those. GreenCleric got initiative on his Peds and then blew them up with a nuke and a fade, though.
Oh yeah, took care of those Peds. Zarby, mission accomplished for Zarby now. The black belt is on the ground eating dirt. Zeus Gauntlet find in the armory. But Zarby has that adamant. Based upon GreenCleric and the way that he walked, I've got to think he's not going to find that adamant.
No, likely to go deeper and try and nuke fade carry out of existence, potentially. The one thing that's really important, one of the technical aspects of this game, is that when you're inside of... These are inside segments in dungeons. When you're walking along the southern edge of them, you can't get encounters, so that first chest is known as the free chest, because once you get up in there, it's free. You don't have to, you don't have any chance of catching an encounter on your way there.
Right. That one is definitely free. GreenCleric's going to continue deeper in the volcano now. Forgoing, perhaps leaving and saving. Going to go ahead and delve deeper. Meanwhile, more unrunnable Peds for Zarby. Zarby fires a fade and takes out half of them already. There goes a third one now.
Yeah, probably likely to bail out after this, but going to get some good experience again on those 3 characters, quickly pushing out level 11.
Yeah, level 11 at 21 minutes in, almost 22. I gotta be pretty happy with that, I would think.
Yeah, especially when you're relying on those fade charges really heavily and you're leaning on that power to get you through this seed at this point. Continues dipping for chests on floor 2 while GreenCleric potions up and continues the dive to second treasure floor on Volcano.
No exit charges. Zarby does have the exit spell, but no charges. It was level 5. That's what Zarby was looking for. I can only think he's thinking about leaving. It looks like he's taking that route. Little armor on those white mages now. Could be a potential problem trying to get out of here.
Yeah, makes it to the stairwell though. Looks like in good shape. Probably 1 encounter to go at most.
There it is. It's Peds. They are unrunnable. You see it? 1 fade charge left. That's it now.
Yeah, this is not ideal. Doesn't have the Zeus Gauntlet from lower down as well, because it didn't go into armory, so it doesn't have the sweeper. And oh god, Peds have toxic.
Peds have skills. It's called Toxic. He's down to 1 light warrior left. No charges left. Is he casting? Oh, they have glare. Add that to okay.
Alright, well, Peds are incredibly dangerous. Also, on GreenCleric's side, though, there was a Power Gauntlet sighting.
Power Gauntlet, where was that found?
That was on the center treasure room, the single chest room, on floor 4.
Zarby takes the wipe in stride, takes the information. GreenCleric finds a light axe. Shield. I would think that Zarby heads in and essentially... maybe the armory, but definitely that adamant chest has that information.
Yeah, so definitely gonna go grab that adamant again. Or first is gonna go to armory, but does need to go and re-grab that adamant in a moment too. Does not have an inventory because of dying at the stairwell.
GreenCleric continues the dive in Volcano now. I'm trying to think, Demaran, the 65k slab. We've all dealt with this before, not often. But I like my pro rings, but that's, near 25,000 gold. I like the gold bracelets, we'll call that 10,000 gold. I want those. I want those armor pieces, and I want them soon. Sell off the heel helmet as soon as you can, the opal shield, that sort of thing. Is that a strategy that you would consider?
Absolutely. I mean, they're not doing anything for me right now. Heel helm is fairly useful at points, but, the opal gear is doing 0 for me until I class change, and I don't know when that's going to happen. I know I'm going to open a lot of chests along the way if I'm looking for 70 grand, let alone enough to also buy armor on top of the slab itself.
No more Peds this deep now for GreenCleric in the Volcano. But then again, GreenCleric just kind of whizzed through the Peds earlier, does not have the Zarby. The unfortunate information, of course, of glare and Toxic, and there it is again. And they're unrunnable, of course.
Yep. Chat mentioning that the 65k slab is gross. I'd just like to mention that in my race today that there was a 59,000 gold floater in Kernaria. But we popped open the third chest in the game and it had 65,000 gold in it.
Toxic from one unrunnable Pede cuts Zarby's light warrior party in half. He's down to the 2 white mages now. And now they're being attacked by Mucks. Mucks have Dazzle. One white mage is already paralyzed.
Yep, there's a chance for a pretty brutal stun lock here. It's going to try to run again. While Red Giant's slowing down GreenCleric. Go ahead.
Zarby gets away with the 1 white mage that was standing, uses the life spell on the fighter, puts the fighter up in the front position. Meanwhile, Red Giants, they've caused a lot of trouble on your way to carry for a lot of people in the past. They can stand in your way.
I mean, they're meleeing for 120 because this party has no armor and is pretty low in levels yet, so... Alright, GreenCleric. 26-minute mark, GreenCleric. Gonna take on carry. Stepping him right up to the orb, and here we go.
GreenCleric does have the power gauntlet. Looks like he's gonna fire some strong spells, nukes, and fades.
I mean, with this level, though, level 9, to even fire 2 in return is going to hurt an awful lot. And rolling really low, 134 on that first nuke.
Hello, BM, get out your ribbon. A ribbon has been located by Zarby. B2 of the volcano.
Alright, but rallying up another volley of nukes and fades, and this time rolls like a champ. GreenCleric takes down carry, 2640, orb number 1 on the board for GreenCleric.
Carry knocked out that black belt of GreenCleric. I want to see if GreenCleric looks to revive that black belt here. I'm thinking, me and you, we wouldn't do that, Demerite, I would think, either of us?
Nah, I wouldn't even think of it at this point. You know, soaked up enough experience as it is right now.
Zarby. Did Zarby get out?
Zarby did get out and saved successfully. Ignoring the adamant, though, which is, you know, probably not wise.
Got a ribbon. At least certainly has the information of where the adamant is, I believe.
Yeah, knows it's on second floor in the first chest behind the free chest. Black Belt's still dead as GreenCleric lines up for a run on Ice Cave.
One orb lit for GreenCleric, now making a move on the Ice Cave now. It's incentivized item. Could be the loot. Could be the crown. Could be the tail.
Yeah. We got options yet. What we do know is that we've got 3 straight wizard encounters to start down here, and of course, you know, wizards, true to their character class, melee, 2 hits, you know, swing their staves really hard. Hit for about upwards of 100 damage on no armor.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's one of the reasons I like those gold bracelets. I really do. But what do you do with the money situation? It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, money comes. Like, the whole idea is you don't need the slab. You can wait on the slab all the way up until you finish like 3 orb dungeons in every other dungeon in the game. You know, it's just a matter of the fact that you'll be cracking an awful lot of chests in, like, Sea Shrine at that point.
Yeah. Zarby picks up his power gauntlet now. GreenCleric, it looks like, has elected to leave the black belt in the dirt.
Yep. Looks like we're going to be on 3-player parties for the balance of this run.
Damage poison from the mage of the trap top for GreenCleric. Destroys his entire light warrior party. His fighter's down to 40 HP. Bane from the mage now. One single mage out of trap tile destroys GreenCleric. He's out of there. He's leaving Ice Cave.
Yeah, mages don't show up on a lot of places, but they are an encounter in ice. But more importantly, they do show up on Topher first floor.
They do.
GreenCleric decides that. We know what GreenCleric's deciding, right?
Time to go. Off to Castle Ordeals for GreenCleric. I think that's a good idea. I like that idea of leaving right there.
Ooh.
Reset from GreenCleric after one of those. Was it an Ankleo?
Yeah, red Ankleos were unrunnable, and they are
Yeah.
another unit that melees for, looked like about 180 critical on no armor, instantly killing the white mage.
Mm-hmm. GreenCleric's hungry, looking for some steak and wings now. Maybe not necessarily steak and wings as much as he's hungry for a little bit of experience. Level 11 for GreenCleric now.
Alright, good. Gets the ball rolling. He did buy 10 houses as well, because they were, 1,500 apiece, so... did use up a little bit of the economy on houses, but houses are speed because recharging your spells on the fly is really useful.
I'm a big fan of houses. Real estate is good. Wolfman 2000, our restreamer tonight on Randomania, points out that encounter with the mage, the single mage, will be the bane of the runners this evening. Yeah.
That's a solid one. 8 out of 10 on the pun scale.
Mm-hmm. Zarby taking the same sort of path. Took a wipe in Volcano. Dug the ribbon out. Did not go back for the adamant. But is making his way toward Carry now.
GreenCleric discovers that worms have toxic, and as his party gets immediately decimated, and decides to take a quick reset, while Zarby rolls up onto Carry's orc in just a moment.
Just past the 30-minute mark now. GreenCleric has headed to Castle Ordeals after a wipe from the mages in Ice Cave. Zarby about to take on Carry. The King of Canaria, the trusting king, gave us the rod. Princess Sarah, after being rescued from Garland, handed us the cube. The bridge was in a box. It was over in the dwarf cave. Vicky, after we took out his pirates, gave us the canoe. The Circlet Sages, the floater. Sarda gave us the bottle. The slab is our vendor item. It's at the caravan. Max price, 65,000 gold.
And looks like Carry has deposited one of Zarby's white mages right on the floor, but going to continue volleying Fade at Carry in response. And trying to get up some layers of evasion, too, to stay alive in this fight.
Zarby struggling a little bit with Carry now. A Fade for 92. Carry fires back with Fire 2, but that ribbon's helping. The ribbon's helping Zarby now, but he's down to 87. Fires another Fade into Carry for 268. Not enough!
Looks like that's the Zeus Gauntlet as an offensive option, so 17 damage at a time.
Oh! Cure 4? Does it Cure 4?
He does have Cure 4, but it's not going to stop Carry from punching you for your entire health total, though, and then some.
Oh. Okay. Zarby just lost a lot of progress.
Yeah, not been kind to Volcano today for Zarby. On the flip, though, Crown for GreenCleric looks like he's going to burn off some of his spell charges to take out some zombie dragons for experience.
Wraiths have Lightning 2 spell, the Flash skill. 2 Light Warriors down now for Zarby. He cannot get away from the Wraiths. Another Lightning 2, Heat. Completely decimating Zarby's party, and he's continuing on. Continues to fight here in the Ice Cave.
Yeah, not sure. Does he still have the ribbon, or did he lose that to his wife as well?
He got the ribbon in Volcano B2. I believe exited and saved, and that ribbon is on that white mage that just keeps surviving CC. I believe.
Okay, just making sure. I know that the power gauntlet was lost though, because it's in the single chest on floor 4, so that's definitely gone. And the adamant is also gone as GreenCleric grinds up to level 13, decides feels good, and heads on out to newer places.
GreenCleric's got to be happy with that Ordeals dive, especially after the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave troubles that he had.
And is quickly rewarded with a quad Sphinx pack. Thinks about running for about 3 seconds and then goes, no, I want this. Experience is good.
Zarby gets ambushed by a pack of undead. Looks like there's 2 Geists in there. Geists are very problematic. They have Rub as a spell, and I believe
Lit
they
2.
have a skill.
They have Lit 2 and Thunder, so they've got Lit 2 under Rub and Thunder as well.
Oh my. Down goes the fighter now, back to 2 white mages.
Able to successfully run and raise.
feel about this ice cave.
Zarby has decided to check the Frost Dragon chest now. Frost Dragons ambush Zarby. Start blasting his fighter.
With Sleep Touch, no less, and 2 Fades will get the job done, though.
2 wipes have cost Zarby a lot of experience. Time as well. He's back down to levels 8 and 9 now in his light war.
Yeah, let's hope that he can, find the resilience to sort of slow this down a little bit and make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gonna definitely need to at this point.
GreenCleric immediately takes the crown, cashes in the crown to the kindly king. Finds out it was actually Astos all along. Gonna start the crown quest for GreenCleric now.
Zarby getting these good experience encounters, as long as he can get out of here in one piece, he'll be, in good shape for sure.
As GreenCleric picks up his herb and Zarby continues to fight here in the Ice Cave, we'd like to remind you that tomorrow, July 1st, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, over on our sister broadcast partner, big match. 2-2 Wilkliosis takes on the 3-1 Lord Fizzlebeat. It's a pair-down match. Huge match with huge implications. If Wilkliosis wins, he gets into the play-in race at 3-2. That would mean Lord Fizzlebeat would fall to 3-2. He would also join the play-in race that's going to come to make it to the bracket stage. Lord Fizzlebeat takes out Wilkliosis. He moves to 4-1. No need for a play-in race. He'll move directly to the brackets, knocking Wilkliosis completely out of the tournament. Huge stakes, big implications on the play-in race. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday, July 1st, over on Speed Gaming. And was that another ribbon?
That was ribbon number 2 in the back of Elf, yes. So, and that's the first one for GreenCleric, because it's very unlikely he's going to go back into Volcano to find the one there, but that's a really nice pickup. Definitely still in the market for an endgame sword here, but is in fairly good shape overall here. But I spoke very quickly there, because there's our endgame sword.
The Mazmoon. Pretty good weapon. That's your favorite, right? You like that one.
I mean, I've seen it in 4 of my 5 matches. I'm 2-2 using it. It's solid. By solid, I mean it's exactly what everybody wants 100% of the time.
Okay. Fair enough. Very versatile weapon. A pro ring pickup for GreenCleric. He's gotta like seeing that. Those are for sale they're like 24,000. So.
Yep. Saves a bundle. Stacks a whole lot of protection on his life charges.
It's for Zondo joining us in chat. Welcome to chat. Wonderful player, wonderful man here. Looking for the game changer. It has not been cited quite yet at this point for Zondo. We certainly hope it's coming, and we certainly have to think that both players want to see the game changer pop up pretty soon.
I mean, GreenCleric has no need of other swords because his lineup can only equip one major sword, and the Mazamune is going to be the one that he uses for literally everything. Zarby finding that wizards, even if they don't have abilities, sometimes it's even worse when they don't have abilities, because again, they're just smacking away with those staves.
Whacking him away. Zarby survives, gets out of the fight, unpoisons himself. He's down to about a dozen heal potions, though, Demarin.
Yeah, a dozen heal potions and 0 cure potions at this point. On the other side, GreenCleric in the chest sweep decides to crash directly into Northwest Castle. Astos was a jerk. Let's destroy his castle.
What is Gold Bracelet find for Zarby? That's good. I would think he equips that immediately. Is he out of Pures?
He is out of Pures, yes.
Doesn't have the Pure spell. Only got 3 Light Warriors. One of them's limping along. Still gotta walk out of here. I don't believe he's got any exit charges.
No, but one of the neat idiosyncrasies of Cure 4 is that, I mean, he's been using them for Harm 4 charges, understandably, but Cure 4 in combat will also wipe status effects. So he could use that to maybe clear the poison off as well.
I don't think that's what Zarby wanted to find.
But that's what he's got.
Yeah. Ambushed now by the 6 undead. There's the rub from the Geist. He's got to like seeing that. It's only one Geist in the formation here.
Yeah, and the next turn gets initiative, bails out. Good on that. We've got GreenCleric in the river. This is looks like it's going to be a dive on waterfall next.
GreenCleric makes up for the ribbon, but he skipped in Volcano by finding a key-locked one. Digs out the Masmode. Gotta be probably pretty satisfied so far.
Yeah, I mean, with Fast at level 4, Power Gauntlet in hand, White Shirt in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's, the whole concept of having safety going into Temple of Fiends is a thing, but I know a lot of the stronger runners are at this point in go mode.
Zarby, I believe out of heal potions, fights multiple Wraiths. Wraiths start firing Lightning 2 at him. He's down to his Cure 4s now. Steps away from trying to get out of this ice cave.
He's burnt through a lot of those too, so gonna use one up on his fighter here. Good call. It's a lot of points of health, and turns to the north.
Oh, they got ambushed. Zarby gets ambushed by the Wraiths, but no Lightning 2.
Alright.
Flash skill and melee.
Heat goes off, burning away some health, but in good shape. Just trying to make it along. Has one last Cure 3, but should probably hang on to it for a life 2 or a fade. Same with the other White Wizard.
Zarby has really got to get out of here alive, and he makes it to the door, tail in hand. Meanwhile, GreenCleric's lost one of his Light Warriors now in the waterfall. Life 2 to the rescue.
The power of life 2 at level 1 is really rearing its head here, as long as the White Mage is alive, can loot back his Light Warriors as long as is necessary.
Two exit charges for GreenCleric now. There is. There's the Adamant for Zarby. Zarby has gone back and gotten the Adamant. I can only think that this means class change as soon as possible.
Yeah, not even gonna get that ribbon from the back, just is gonna bail out. Looks like gonna go Adamant into class change.
If Zarby picks up the Masmoon fairly quickly, do you consider bringing back AAAA, the Black Belt, sticking the Masmoon on him? Having Excalibur in hand? You consider it.
You definitely, it's definitely in play at that point. Definitely absolutely in play. It's a very tough call because, again, you're siphoning off experience from your knight, and if you're not finding good knight armor, you know that you're going to need it. But on the flip side of the coin, having the 4th character to take hits and things is really handy. So there's a lot to think about there. I know I'm always partial to slapping up the Mazamune on my White Mage and going to town.
GreenCleric in the waterfall has picked up the loot as the incentive item from the robot, and also a potential option. The Vorpal sword, maligned Vorpal sword, argued about, debated upon. Either way, it's a decent weapon. Picked up an option, I guess you could say, no matter what you think of it. In the waterfall from GreenCleric, he's out of there with his exit charges, headed towards Onrak.
Yeah, but GreenCleric now is a very interesting choice because the last dungeon that he's left is Ice Cave, and Ice Cave he knows has the tail, which is not necessary to finish the run. He could choose to bypass that at this point.
What would be the benefits here? He got the Masmoon, he's got the weapon. Armor, he doesn't have the dragon armor. I believe the opal armor is available. I don't know if opal armor is enough to necessitate a visit to what he thinks, obviously at this point, is a treacherous-ish, at least, ice cave, or the time investment itself.
There is one thing that you should really think about, and probably makes a play on it 100% worthwhile. Life 2 is at level 1.
On the knight?
Yeah, put it on the knight, go full paladin. Like, that spell, That spell is incredible.
Meanwhile, GreenCleric has entered the Sea Shrine into the submarine, has headed right, delving to the mermaids. We have a mermaids dive here at the 45-minute mark.
I don't think this surprises me thinking about it a little bit more deeply. There is one thing that he still needs.
Money?
Needs the dollars. Gotta bring home the cash. And if the cash is down here, well, then he's got exit, he can bail out really quickly, and he's in good shape.
Should the black shirt pop up or the opal bracelet? Great. It's all on top of it. But I would certainly think that this is a money play for the money. Not much so far, but a sun sword's not bad. Don't know if you can use it, but...
It can be converted into cold hard currency, I'm sure.
That's how you can use it.
Alright, we've got Zarby stocking up now, you know, after grabbing that adamant, getting the class change, making sure he's got supplies to make some dives. Pro Cape in the chest over there. It's a shield item for your light warriors who are, you know, otherwise not able to equip shields.
Right, 2 Pro Capes in the game. They're always nice to find. You could throw them in that slot. You can... Every now and then you have to kind of decide between a Pro Cape or a casting item like a black shirt or a Zeus gauntlet. I tend to go armor-wise and equip the Pro Cape.
I'm a fan of the extra evasion too. Just, you know, anything that could cause the bounce to go your way on like a swing from a fiend is never going to go amiss.
82 gold, 224 gold, a cabin for GreenCleric, not what he was looking for.
5,600 will pull him a little closer to the goal,
Better.
though.
717.
Well,
Cleric, I would think, exits at this point in time. That's what he's going to do. Check his gold total, 50-some thousand, a little bit shy.
yeah. Gonna probably end up dipping in now, doing Sea Shrine, and trying to grab up a few extra chests here.
Zarby has turned in his bottle, talked with the fairy, now has the ability to breathe underwater. Zarby heads to the caravan now. He's going to find out the wonderful information of a 65,000 gold slab.
We're going places, and it involves having to go and find some cash. The tough thing here is that Zarby has not gone to Ordeals and gotten the crown yet, but you know, making a play on Waterfall while you're here is going to be good as well for your experience points. But we also know that the Mosmian is locked away behind the crown in the key quest chain. Not that he's too worried, I don't think. He's got next gal in hand.
Very important match tomorrow. It's right here on the Randomania family of networks. Sunday, July 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 2-2 Papa Foys, 2-2 the Hangry Canuck. Loser goes home. Loser joins me in the broadcast booth. The winner moves on to the play-in race. Must-win situation. Papa Foys, the Hangry Canuck. 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, right here on the Randomania family of networks.
Two of the more fun gentlemen in the community, certainly, and two of the nicer voices in the community, so definitely come out and support them, too. The winner of that matchup will be, you know, part of that 3-2 play-in race that's going to be absolutely crazy come next week. Alright, and so we've got some armor fussing on the side of Zarby, trying to get all of that opal gear lined up on his knight, which is great. And we're nuking sea steaks and lobsters. I am a proponent of nuking all lobsters.
Oh gosh, those lobsters. The matchup the other day was Ali Gerbrap and Demon Frog. And Demon Frog, I think, is out there. I thought I saw him a little bit earlier. Death Touch lobsters. I think they ambushed. They came in packs. Just nothing but trouble from those lobsters.
Like, even with nothing else, lobsters, just 3 melee hits on their own can really punch through some of that lighter mage armor that we see everybody equipping these days.
Zarby absolutely flying through the waterfall now, making some moves here, catching back up a little bit. Gonna pick up his loot here. And also the Vorpal Sword. Does not have the Masmoon at this point in time. Doesn't have the crown. Hasn't been to Castle of Deals. So he'll pick up his Vorpal and the loot.
But also gets the best possible spike tile that you can get. Gets the 5 Wizard Mummy engage, which is worth the most experience possible.
Level 12 for Zarby. He'd certainly like to be higher at the 50-minute mark. Here we go. We hear that dun 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 as
Yeah, making good progress at this point for sure. Gonna, realize he did not use a house, does not have an exit charge, unless it's on the other mage.
don't think he's high enough level. He just got to level 12.
Ah, that would be why.
Right? Yeah. I don't think he's got any hits up.
Yeah, would have gotten the first charge in here off of that last encounter, but you don't get the charges until you rest.
Level 16 now for GreenCleric. 4 levels ahead. GreenCleric is up an orb. GreenCleric has better equipment. It's got the Masmoon, the versatile Masmoon.
Yeah, and he's
GreenCleric
ahead.
has the Mystic Key.
It's a decent margin to be sure. It's good to see though that Zarby is, trying to get out of here in one piece. He really needs to get out of this fight right now, though.
Is trying Cure 4. Do you fade? I don't think it's. Oh, the fade got off.
Oh, that's a
low roll.
burn another fade.
Cure 4?
An exact hit, 42 damage.
42.
It was exactly 42.
Zarby got all the way through the waterfall, has the information, knows that the loot is in there. And the Vorpal's in there, no access to exit. He's got the exit spell, I believe. It's level 5. No charges of it. On his way out, he was tearing through it. He was tearing through the waterfall. I watched him do it. Runs into 3 mud gulls, and mud gulls just started blasting his light warrior party. That exact damage just rips you apart. You know what I mean, Demoran? You just
Yeah, there's nothing that breaks my heart more. I don't think just bad breaks, bad bounces, the whole 9 of it. Oh, wizard mummies have cremate by the by. That trap tile's not grindable.
No, it's not. You like this one, right? You like this? Try to get that one, the wizard mummies.
I have a love affair with this trap tile. It's just the problem is the 4 different encounter types you can get there. You can see Cocytruses, Perilous, Mummies, and Wizard Mummies.
Mm-hmm.
The experience is great. You burn off your sweepers. You have exit, so you just burn off all your spells and exit. But in exchange, sometimes you get killed.
Yeah, it's not the most dependable. Speaking of getting killed, GreenCleric has initiated the Kraken fight and gets blasted. His fighter gets blasted, so still in the lead slot. Starting to fire nukes now. It's got a fast on the fighter as well. Kraken not having any of this. Big punch to the Black Mage. Does not matter. Kraken's down from GreenCleric. 2 orbs lit now. The Water Orb and the Fire Orb for GreenCleric. Extending his lead over Zarby now.
Yeah, getting off to a good rolling start now. And gets out of there in one piece and is going to top up the party. And again, do we see Ice Cave? Or do we decide to no promo this one?
What would you do? You by process of elimination, Tails in the Ice Cave. How much is Life 2 worth? And I know it's worth a lot, but is it worth that time and going back to Ice Cave?
So I know from my own personal experience, I know that promo has saved me in one match and nearly cost me another when I didn't. Mm-hmm. So, the idea is that Life 2 is, when you think about the power level of spells, Life 2 on your knight, who is most likely to survive every fight in Fiends and oftentimes being the only character who does.
Right.
It's a wipe saver, right? Resetting out a Temple of Fiends Revisited is the worst thing that can happen. It's the worst outcome. Mm-hmm. And if you can stop that worst outcome from happening, there's a lot to it. Falconic in chat states, I Dan 3 of my heroes in man mode the rest of the game. Well, some of us don't man mode anything, so that doesn't work. Good to see you, friend.
Falconic FF, welcome to the chat. Always a pleasure. Maybe we can get Falconic in here in the booth. Falconic's got a little bit of information actually about one of our upcoming features, co-op mode. He knows a little bit more about it than I do. We'll check into that. We'll check with that young man and see if we can get some more information. That's one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, but I wanted to make sure that we gave it its fair due. It's in alpha testing right now, co-op mode. It's along the line. I said this like 3 times. Co-op mode. Myself and Demarine can work as a team, perhaps against another team, or just certainly having fun out on our own, sharing of certain items, something along those lines. Still working on it, still working out the kinks and the bugs. Be a ways to go until that gets released.
Sounds really exciting, without a doubt, though. Alright, and GreenCleric is now going to answer all of our questions, as it's their second time touching down in front of Ice Cave, and this time, not turning back. This nightmare encounter is just that right now for Zarby, having a hard time getting away.
Wizard's given a little bit to GreenCleric. GreenCleric resets. GreenCleric has re-entered the Ice Cave. Knows the tail is in here. Going for the tail. Wants the life too, wants the magic charges. Perhaps wants to equip the Vorpal later on in the game if the Mazmoon isn't getting the job done.
If the Mazmoon doesn't get the job done, I don't know what job you're trying to do.
Ambushed by the 9 undead. I can't tell if that's a Geist or not. Wraiths will certainly do some damage into you, though.
Yeah, those are Wraith's images, and I think a single Geist. No, it's a Spectre.
Either way, these guys are going to do some damage to you. The Geist is the one you definitely want to avoid. Wraiths love lightning, too.
Yep, but gets the fade away, so that should be enough to clear this pack out. Zarby, near the end, going to burn off some more heal potions, making sure that, his party is going to be able to stand up to whatever comes.
Trying to get away from the Mudgall successfully. Zarby gets away from the Mudgall. Close to getting out. It's right at the end now, but it gets ambushed by a pack of birds.
Birds with snorting, though, I mean, as abilities go, that's one that you definitely want to see in that one spot on an enemy, because it does a whole lot of nothing. Tapped out of fade charges. Oh no.
Stone poison from those birds. 2 light warriors are down. Zarby must get out of this mat. He's got to find something. He got out.
He got out successfully. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
Zarby wiggles his way out of a huge jam.
My heart's in my throat, and I'm not even in this race right now. I can't believe it.
You don't see that coming at all. Stone poison, it's a skill. And you get ambushed by the birds, okay, and they go through their first round, and uh-oh, there's the Geists.
Alright. Blasting away with thunder, and rubs out the Black Mage. It's been nice knowing you, friend. Face down on the ground.
But you just don't see it coming. They come out with gaze or snorting or something like that. And they do that in that first round, that they ambush you, but behind that they've got the thunders, the stone poison, the damage poison. You never know, you don't see it coming, you're almost out, you just don't see it, and then wham, next thing you know, you're gone.
Yeah, death is swift sometimes, that's how it goes, but he's out, he's got his loot, he's got his experience points, he's feeling a little bit better about things. I'm gonna start smoking some fade charges. Just good to see him get out of that difficult spot. I don't think having 2 wipes at the mouth of dungeons is just, that's a little much.
Brutal. Just brutal. Last thing you want to have happen. Meanwhile, interesting of note here, GreenCleric obviously has gone back looking for the tail and the ice cave. Looks like he's choosing to go ahead and check some chests here, a little bit of some out of the way chests.
Yeah, probably looking for a little bit more safety, a little bit more armor for his soon-to-be knight. Is potentially the play here. Zarby's back to stocking up here.
Zarby checking out the level 7 magic. Harm 3, I think it was. Heal 2, level 7. Gonna be a while till you get charged to that. I want to say it's level 20?
It's a little lower for White Mage. It's a little lower for on-class mages, but it's like 18 or 19 probably. 18.
Okay, I think it's 18. I think I'm remembering perhaps the Red Wizard.
Yep. Fuzzy Mage asking if the Vorpal got immediately thrown on the ground.
No.
No. Just taking up space. It's every knight's dream to have a fine cutlery collection.
GreenCleric gets ambushed by the Wraiths. They love their lightning too. A couple of shots of that, putting the dent now. There's only 2 Light Warriors alive for GreenCleric at this point. There's another lightning 2. There goes the fighter, and the White Mage gets away again.
Yep, ribbon on that White Mage means that those lightning blasts are doing a total of like 12 damage, where they're hitting for upwards of 80 on everybody else. Waters seem to have a fair bit of evasion here, as Excal swings are missing, and this time, though, gets through for 3 hits and picks up some much-needed experience off a pack of Waters.
Level 15 for Zarby. We've just reached the 1 hour mark in this match right now. No orbs yet left, or no orbs lit for Zarby quite yet. He's not been to Castle Ordeals to pick up the crown. Unable to buy his slab at this point. He's trailing behind GreenCleric with the 2 orbs. Cleric's got the Mystic Key, a translated slab going right now for his tail. Looking to get promoted. The key is, as Demarine pointed out, life 2 on the night. It can really save you later on in the game.
Right, so picks up the gold bracelet. Eyes have Scorch, so, in terms of things which are dangerous, Scorch is not it. Alright, the unrunnable Sahag pack. Zarby fades his way through that, while it does look like GreenCleric was checking experience points and is gonna try and grab a level here. I don't agree with this. You get your levels, you get your charges on levels. He needs to promote.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this. He's got exit. He could leave at any time. That's kind of the positive thing.
Yeah, losing the advantage of this dive for sure if he trips level 19 on his knight, because then he won't get a spell charge until 21.
Right. I believe is that level 19 now?
Yeah, just tripped 19 from that eye kill.
So, level 20, Demarine just said it, level 21 now, the soon-to-be promoted fighter into the night will get the first charge of life 2.
Right.
Which, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, that's kind of the biggest point that we think of making that whole dive.
Yeah. So your knights and ninjas can't get spell charges until they promote, and they get their first spell charge at 15, and then every odd level thereafter. But they don't accrue them in like the back end. You don't magically get them. Like, he's not going to promote and have 3 spell charges right now. He's going to promote and have nothing. Which happens. It's a very, as mechanics go, it's a fairly deep cut of a mechanic, so it's understandable. It's a mistake I make all the time, honestly. So, it's understandable to see that happening.
Unrunnable sea snakes. I'm not sure what the real formation is here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of seafood is in this one.
It doesn't look like the sea troll formation or the other side of it that pops up in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah.
I think. GreenCleric now headed towards Lefin with his translated slab, looking to pick up his chime to potentially enter Mirage Tower.
Yeah, making solid time at this point. 2 dungeons to go. Again, a bit of a slower start on this seed for sure, but as he's found the tools he needs, he's been making steady time. And Zarby is going to also visit the merfolk. Gonna see some mermaids tonight.
Sun Sword found for Zarby.
So he's still trying to farm up the cash for that slab.
Double header action Tuesday. It's July 3rd, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 and 2 Tyrannex, 2 and 2 Tilo Tilo. They're going to battle it out at the same time. 2 and 2 Falconic FF, 2 and 2 Drumbordist. 2 people move on, 2 people go home. 4 people, 1 screen, 2 races, 1 night, 1 match. Right here on Randomania, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Tuesday, July 3rd.
No, that should be incredible to watch. Some new names there, some older folk, a little bit of everything going on there for that match.
That's going to be a knockdown drag-out, Demaran. All four of those players can really play this game. I can't wait to watch them all at the same time. In the stakes, they can't get much higher when they go home. So.
No, in those four-way races, you really want to raise your game because, there's a lot of folk there, so they tend to have good draws and everything, and they tend to be real exciting.
GreenCleric has his chime, makes quick work of that walk.
Yep.
Heads toward the Mirage Tower.
Continues to check chests, gonna do floor 1 of Mirage, gonna go sweep this stuff from left to right. Again, a lot of conversation in chat about the Vorpal Sword and its location on the tracker.
It's a pretty one. It says Vorp.
As swords go, it's serviceable. I mean, you can use it. So it needs a little bit of help. You want for a power gauntlet, but the fact that the devs fixed the crit rate on the weapon means that with that particular sword, with some damage buffs behind it, you can cut through some of the highest absorbed bosses in the game without too much concern. Alright. Zarby starts... Water. Zarby starts, looks like, back in the volcano?
Yeah, the nemesis of Zarby. Perished once to the Peds. Perished carry really set Zarby back. Kind of the... Now, with Zarby's struggles in the volcano, where GreenCleric was able to get through it.
Yeah, again, when things snowball, it's a matter of, trying to recover as best you can without going on tilt or making mistakes afterwards. So, was able to get his routing back online, though, which is great.
The greater than, less than room, what we call it here, Final Fantasy. Not yielding much for GreenCleric. All I saw was power stick and an ice sword.
It doesn't feel like there's a ton left to find. I mean, I think like, Aegis Shield or Dragon Armor are on the table, but that's about it.
Black shirt, I think, GreenCleric would certainly like to find. Other than that, not a lot. Defense sword for its Roost casting ability. Roost is, one of those spells that you can't cast it on another light warrior. It's only self-casting. It's only on the self-caster itself.
But in exchange with the self-cast, it makes it double as effective as a regular cast, so...
Zarby has picked up his power gauntlet now like he did earlier. Lots stronger now here in the volcano. Gonna move forward, look to take out Carrie, light his first orb.
Blue dragons are unrunnable, so, they're gonna hit, looks like they're hitting fairly hard if nothing else, but, Bosmune also qualifies in the hitting fairly hard category.
Yes, the knight with the Masmo for GreenCleric make quick work of the blue dragon. Big hit, big knock from GreenCleric with the Masmo.
Finds a Grey Naga, hits the run command, and makes me a little bit sad inside.
GreenCleric turning on the jets now. Starting to fly through the floating fortress. Passes on a fight with the Eye. GreenCleric took a couple extra fights from the Eye. Gosh, actually just a few minutes ago, really. In the Ice Cave. There's that black shirt that we were talked about now. He's got to like finding that. Equipable. Good armor. Ice resistance. Time resistance equipable on the Black Wizard.
Yep. The ice resistance, of course, will help you out from those elemental attacks, because otherwise you're not usually slapping a ribbon on your Black Wizard unless you've got 3. But the protection from time means things like stop, stun, and zap are all going to whiff on the Black Wizard 100% of the time. Or, well, 99% of the time.
GreenCleric has ran into a single sentry. We don't see them very often. They don't usually come in packs as well. Sentries had... Was that the crack skill it looked like? Earthquake, I believe.
That was the crack skill, and another brutal instant kill effect that targets everybody.
Zarby gets his revenge on the Fiend of the Fire Carry. Takes Carry out. He's lit his first orb now, the Fire Orb.
Making his move towards Earth, while GreenCleric's on the Bridge of Destiny here. Finding some ambush airs, but let us see if we are going to get our friend, the big robot, Nuts and Bolts himself, Warmech, tonight.
Nuts and Bolts himself, the big tin can, will not show GreenCleric point in time. He's made it through the Bridge of Destiny. Does he bring up Dan for this fight? We'll find out. GreenCleric elects not to resurrect the Master. Does leave the Knight in the first slot here to fight with time at.
Yeah, plenty of absorb at this point in time. First swing is only 4 for 79, but the fast is going to start doing what we lovingly call the work.
GreenCleric elects to use the Power Gauntlet as well.
Right, Zarby fading some wolves on his side as he drives through Earth. GreenCleric got a free turn, got an ink from Tiamat on the last turn, which is always a good stand. That's a double ink Tiamat. Oh, good times were had.
Tiamat's been hanging out with Kraken a little bit, taught him his ink skill.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want to see from Tiamat, because that makes this fight super free.
Level 20 for GreenCleric as he takes out Tiamat. Lights his third orb now. The only thing left is the Earth Cave. Meanwhile, Zarby is starting to traverse the Earth Cave at this point. Looking for his second orb.
Nothing of interest in these rear chests on the Earth Cave, and keeps moving down. And we are about to get a high five in Earth Cave as GreenCleric with 3 orbs lit doesn't have much else to do.
Nearing the 1 hour 12-minute mark now. GreenCleric with a fairly healthy lead. Possesses endgame weapons, the Vorpal Sword, the Masmoon Sword. Only 1 ribbon. All the progression items and 3 orbs are lit. Forced black belt in this matchup. Fairly quickly, both players were able to get the black belt, now the Master, after class promotion, on the ground, and both have elected to leave him on the ground.
Yeah,
Similar strategies that I think both of us would employ, Dimran.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard thing. By the way, Wraith Wolves have cremate as well, so gonna set the world on fire a little bit. But this is generally, I think this has been the standard strat for most runners here, has been, if I've got a black belt, he's never going to get enough levels. Like, he's never going to even get into the upper 20s. You know, 32 is the 8-hit breakpoint where it becomes a real powerhouse. Behind Cremate is Thunder, so that's pleasant. Opal Armor and Ribbon are protecting GreenCleric's party very well from this, but Zarby might have a little bit of trouble in a minute here.
If he runs into the wolf pack, yes. Good example there of the Opal Armor and the Ribbon being equipped on GreenCleric's 2 Light Warriors. They weren't quite as devastated as the Black Wizard was. The Black Wizard has the black shirt on there. Now, had that been Blizzard, it would have been a little bit of a different story for his Knight.
Yeah. But Zarby pushes on to the final floor, so gonna make the push on Lich. Wizard's a lot less scary now, actually punching into armor, so they don't do exactly a ton of damage anymore.
Take it, Devers.
Alright, so we are marching on now. We are seeing this troll with stun touch slowing down Zarby's push here, so gonna have to burn some fade charges. Ice 3 comes out from GreenCleric, clears out some ogres. Gonna make some progress down on floor 2 here. Gonna pass up the Bat Party Room on his way to say a very brief hello to a vampire. Alright, and so after topping up the health, gonna crack the Lich Orb for Zarby89. Looks like it's a melee swing to start. Lines up some fade charges, takes a hit for 22. Lich being the usual speed bump that he is, and dies to a swing and a fade. And leaves Earthcave with his second orb on the table now. Zarby is currently about 3 dungeons behind, needs the water orb, needs to buy the slab, translate it, and drop it off to get the wind orb done, and still needs to do ordeals to get his hands on the crown so he can get the key. So he's going to stop at Oasis right now, while GreenCleric sprints his way through the second half of Earth at this point, not checking chests, not interested in much of anything other than running Lich through at the Masamune most likely.
We've had situations like this before. We've had multi-orb, multi-dungeon leads completely evaporated in the past because of one thing, Cameron. And that can be one big thing. You know what it's called, right?
Kraken 2?
Oh yeah, they had him too. Actually, that's probably the real answer. Of course, I meant the Temple of Fiends Revisited, but Kraken 2 can really stand in your way. So yes, that is right.
GreenCleric finishes off, a nuke and a fade later, finishes off Lich and is setting up shop to head over to Fiends Revisited at this point in time, where we might end up running into the Kraken 2 party, who knows?
No sign of Warmech on the Bridge of Destiny for GreenCleric, no type of information about the pool. The pool is Chaos, the Ultimate Fiend, Carry 2, Lich 2, Tiamat 2, Kraken 2, and Warmech. There's 4 nuclear skills in that pool. 2 nukes, Swirl, Tornado, this little thing called Cure 4 that's cost me a few times. And of course the random HP, this is not over yet.
Yeah, but all it cost you was the time it took to cast Bane.
Well, yeah. Poison Smoke for the win.
Alright, Zarby now, Diving Sea Shrine, gonna look to light up that third orb. Did end up going to buy a slab as well, so he's got his slab, so he's starting to make progress here. And gotta be feeling a little bit behind, but definitely feels like he's making a good push now. But again, GreenCleric, time to get some full stocks up. Heal potions, pure potions, soft potions, make sure you're, ready for whatever's gonna come at you. Probably should buy Life 2 on that night as well, but may not get level 21 at this point to use it. Unless he ticked over from Lich. I don't know if he's at 20 or 21. No, did hit 21.
GreenCleric now, smooth run. Very smooth, enters the Temple of Fiends, 1 hour, 18-minute mark.
Yeah, this is definitely a solid time right now for GreenCleric, as gets a decent run to start off going down here. But runs in again, like we mentioned, those mages had damage poison, and they're here again.
Bad man driving the truck, absolutely blasting GreenCleric. They had paralysis, they paralyzed him. Life 2 coming to the rescue.
Yeah, well, starting to use up those Life 2 charges. Mage with Bane, trying to poison smoke the team.
Poison smoke to the night goes down now.
Here's life charge number 2. So far so deadly down here.
100 damage from the Phantom. Does this tell us about what's to come? We don't know. Certainly a rough ride to get to where we have to use the loot. Start to dig deeper now into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Zarby gets ambushed by ghosts, but avoids half of the attacks, thankfully, because those can really rip through your health totals. And start burning off those fade charges. Anything to get through ghosts is going to be good, while it looks like GreenCleric is looking to fight this pack for experience.
The elusive Chimeras. You don't see them often. You really only see them on this floor right here of the Temple of Fiends Revisited. I believe on the next floor as well.
Yeah, that's about the extent of it. But again, that's 2,200 experience across the party, so...
But who knows with the upcoming Frost Giants with Ice 2 and knowing GreenCleric now. Rough going so far. Nothing devastating.
Yeah,
but yeah. Slowing him down, using heal potions, life 2 shots, going out a little bit. He's got many of them now.
Oh yeah, not lacking in the supply station here. It's just that these are the kind of things that hurt a lot. And Ice 2, the tough thing is that that's the spell. Remember, Ice spells, the Knight's not protected from them, while the other 2 party members are.
Right. Opal armor on the Knight. No ribbon. There's a crack skill that's coming up on the Temple in the Fiends Revisited that is shuffled. Zap is in there. Time element skill. Quad X is available to the Fiends that get shuffled. Whole bunch of stuff coming up for GreenCleric that he's going to have to dodge and maneuver through if he wants to win this match.
Yep, good old Poison Smoke is still in the pool as well.
It is.
So, on top of the usual varied volleys of nukes and nuclears and infernos and the like. But rolls up on Lich 1. Let's see what level of respect he gives to Lich 1 or Lich 2 at this point.
Doesn't look like much.
Considering his options, looking at those spell charges for the White Wizard especially right now.
There's the Zap that we talked about. So the Zap is out of the pool now. It's on Lich 2. I would like seeing that, knowing where it is and knowing that it's early on Lich 2.
Yep. So we've got Zarby fighting Kraken right now. Gonna be powering up with that Power Gauntlet. Gonna be curing the Knight to make sure it does not go down. Because if he goes down, oh boy, never mind. I spoke too soon.
Uh-oh.
We got problems.
Down goes the Knight for Zarby now, trying to fight Kraken. 1 Fade shot each left for the White Wizards. There goes one of them for 92, not much. But 272 from the follow-up Fade. Zarby squeaks by. Now there's more encounters in this room now, potentially, after Kraken. Zarby does the right thing, heals up, fixes everything up, lights his 3rd orb now. The water orb is lit for Zarby, 1 orb behind now.
Yep.
Also the Castle Ordeals trip.
Does well though to get that clutch bounce back. This time the White Wizards doing the job they are called upon to do. Alright, and now Zarby has made sure that the white shirt is on the White Wizards, so it's time for buffs.
GreenCleric did not equip the white shirt?
No, it did not look like he equipped it. He's definitely using it for the Invis too.
Right.
But it is equivalent armor to the gold bracelet, but gives you evasion and elemental resistances.
Resist fire, and another element as well. Carry 2 not having it today. Carry 2 has what's called the Thunder skill. Down goes the Black Wizard, but doesn't matter. The Mazmoon coming out from the Knight and GreenCleric dispatches Carry 2.
Alright. Chewing up life charge number 3 in the process, as that Black Wizard definitely needs to come back. Alright, Zarby making his trip over to Castle Ordeals. For GreenCleric, though, alright, Black Wizard alive, party going. It is the Sea Troll backside, so we've got the full mixed plate that was the unrunnable encounter that we were ready for.
It is unrunnable, so that, yeah, it was the other side, looks like. Using a nuke charge from the Black Wizard now. Thin these enemies out, looks like it's going to take them all down. GreenCleric gets through this fight. Oh no! That's a snake hanging around still.
As Zarby starts on the Pillar Maze here.
1 spell charge for the Knight for GreenCleric. Did he pick up life too?
He certainly did.
Okay, good. We'll see if GreenCleric elects to use one of the life 2 charges from the White Wizard to bring up Dan. Potentially put him in the front row for this fight with Kraken 2. It's an option. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, gonna top up first. Run from one last water encounter. Water is one of those things that when they're unrunnable in Temple of Fiends can really drain out your resources.
Oh, can they ever? Zarby checking the link chest now. The original Zeus Gauntlet chest. Getting hit pretty hard by the Mudgalls.
Alright. Well, he is going to bring up Dan to take a punch here. But if you're ready, take us through the Kraken 2 fight. It's about that time.
It is that time. GreenCleric takes the knight, puts it at the bottom of the Light Warrior party now. Dan is up, the master. Looks like GreenCleric is going to use Dan as a sacrifice. That seems to be the plan. White shirt for an invisibility cloak against this boss now. Power gauntlet now. And GreenCleric gets off first, as well as the evasion. Kraken 2 not having it. 900 damage into the Master. The Master did his job. But look out, Kraken 2 can hit. GreenCleric's going to immediately attack. There's a nuke for a $126. Here comes the Masmon and the Knight. 7 hits for 569. Very strong. Damaged poison from Kraken 2. Puts the Black Wizard down to one knee. He's got 4 HP left. He's on life support. But here comes the Masmon again. 7 hits. 773 damage. Wow. GreenCleric prepared for that. Low absorb, it looked like on Kraken 2 there. But the Masmoon and the Knight not having any of it. GreenCleric's taking out Kraken 2 now. Steps away. He gets to the Echo of the Floating Castle. Time at 2 remains now. But first, he gets ambushed by a bunch of air elementals. Meanwhile, Zarby has made his way to the final floor of Castle Ordeals now, checking his chest. He's going to pick up his crown very soon. We're nearing the 90-minute mark. GreenCleric has led most of the way. Multi-orb lead. Zarby had multiple perishes in the volcano, put him a little bit behind. Zarby re-rolled after he saw Fade. Level 1 white magic. Did not check the black magic shop when he had 2 red mages before. Did not see the nuke available at level 1. Decided to stick to his party.
Here comes Tiamat 2. So gonna layer on the buffs, got the white shirt and power gauntlet going. I don't think did he get the fast off before that Black Wizard died?
Did he? I don't think he got the fast off. Demarine. Oh.
And that's fine with the power gauntlet, but it's not ideal to be sure.
2 invisibility cloaks now. Down to 284 health on that Knight. The Master is doing absolutely nothing for Cleric in this fight.
Just standing there. Tiamat goes low, punches the White Wizard.
$175 to the White Wizard now. Low HP for GreenCleric now. He's going to do some absorb. Fog 2 being used now.
Knight takes a crit, drops to 43, 1 knee time.
2 hits only. Time at 2 has evasion. 2 hits for 200 damage. Cure 4 though from the White Wizard. Just right in time.
Oh my, the timing could not have been any better there, but time at not taking crits right now. Time to use up another Cure 4 charge, because you cannot have your Knight go down right now.
Rub is ineffective from Tiamat 2. Here comes the Masmon again. 4 hits for 423 is good enough. GreenCleric takes down Tiamat 2. Elects not to heal. Hits the road on his way to chaos. Gets away from a fight with bad men. He's there. GreenCleric is free and clear now to take on chaos. Go bring up Dan the Master. Put him in the front slot. Heal up. And we'll see how he tries to take on this chaos. Meanwhile, Zarby has exited the Castle Ordeals. He's got his crown.
That's good. That's going to lead him to his Mausoleum now. I mean, he's going to have to feel that that's probably a very late Masa, but he's going to get it at least. Alright, and ribbon to nighttime.
Ribbon has been moved down to the Knight. Look, GreenCleric now. Veteran move here. Taking the ribbon on white. Putting it down to the Knight. Opal armor to protect from thunder. We have not seen the nuclear skill. We have not seen the nuke spell. We have seen Zap. We have not seen Cure 4. GreenCleric gets the initiative with the white shirt and the power gauntlet now. The Master hits for 1 whole damage. Chaos doesn't care. Chaos toying with GreenCleric now. Fires up the ink skill. GreenCleric says, I'm gonna fast my Mazmoon wielding knight. GreenCleric starting to attack Chaos now. Fires nuke. Chaos not amused with a quad X, but it's ineffective. The Master misses. GreenCleric starting to attack again. A nuke and a fade coming up. Here's the nuke for $1.65. Chaos starting to fight back a little bit now. The Lightning 2 spell. GreenCleric continues to prepare to make his move on Chaos now. More invisibility cloaks and the power gauntlet. GreenCleric's Master is completely useless in this fight. Here comes the Mazmoon starting to attack. 6 hits, 636 into Chaos. A nice roll from Nuke. 336. There's a fade for 151. GreenCleric is making his move on Chaos now. Here we go. A nuke and a fade lined up. There's a fade for $1.94. The Master, he's not doing anything. But here comes the Mazmoon. 5 hits, 645 damage. Congratulations, GreenCleric. Chaos is down. The Knight-wielding Mazmoon takes out Chaos. GreenCleric has won this match, moves up to 2-3 with an official SRL time. 1 hour, 30 minutes flat, plus 40 seconds. Chat, get out your GGs and congratulate this gentleman. Job well played.
Yeah, GreenCleric, you know, that's the thing. 2-3, really showing off what he could do tonight. An hour 30 is a very solid time, to be sure. A good solid seed with a couple of bumpy starter enemies, but is able to push through. Gets the... Oh no.
Lupa? Lupa?
Oh. It's how it goes sometimes. And Zarby at this point in time is going to tap out, is going to call it a night. Tough way to end it, certainly. Not exactly the way you want to see it go. GreenCleric definitely showing that, again, anybody who's there at like 2-3, 3-2, there's not a lot separating a lot of the players in this tournament, to be sure.
Mm-hmm. We've all done that. We've all been looped. Each and every one of us has. I know I have multiple times. I've forgotten the cube. It happens. It's easy to do. I mean, it's okay. That'll end the night for Zarby. He's going to go ahead and, he's going to go ahead and throw in the towel as well. Zarby, let's see. GreenCleric is on his way, it looks like. He's going to join us for a post-race interview.
Excellent. Definitely.
While they're on their way, we're certainly going to check with Zarby, who's going to fall to 1-4 tonight. We're going to check in about that re-roll early without checking the Black Magic shop. And we've got a few questions for our winner tonight, GreenCleric, as well. So that'll be coming up in just a moment. Once again, we'd like to remind you that tomorrow, right here on the Randomania family of networks, it is July 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Win or go home. 2-2 Papa Foys, 2-2 the Hangry Canuck. One shall stand, one shall fall. 9 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow night, right here on the Randomania family of networks.
And it sounds like we are joined by GreenCleric tonight. GG GreenCleric, great run. How'd you feel about this seed tonight?
I wish I had one of these seeds in the first 4 rounds. Oh man, I honestly... It was a free seed. I mean, you start off, you have great spells at the start. Nothing too trolly from any enemies, just a couple patches here and there. And even TOFR was pretty kind, pretty generous. I mean, it was a great seed, and I honestly was... It's funny how it's like the game that really doesn't matter, but the fact that I put up a 130 on that, I'll take it. I'll take that any day.
GreenCleric, it's well, congratulations. GG's, very well done. You were pretty far ahead most of the game. Your opponent was never able to quite make it to the Temple of Fiends Revisited. You obviously got through on your first shot. There was one thing that I noticed that I wanted to ask you about. Well, actually, there was 2 things. The Ice Cave. You saw that, you got out of there early. By process of elimination, did you know the tail was in there? and why did you go get it?
I went to go get it because, one, I knew the tail was in there. It was a safety strat. I honestly wasn't sure because, no fret, I only found one ribbon, so you don't know how TOFR is going to be. So I was hoping, even you get tail, maybe you get lucky, you find another ribbon in there, you find dragon armor, you find something just to give you a little bit of security there. I did know tail was there, but I figured I'll give it one shot. If I get through there, get it, great. If not, then I'll just ditch it and try go for the end.
Okay. Yeah, also the security, obviously, of life 2 on your knight as well with the class promotion.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking of as well, just in case, be able to get a couple charges of that. Even, I just had one charge going in, but that was all I needed.
While you were there, GC, you took a couple extra fights with the eye. Were you concerned with the off tile at all, considering the Wraiths hitting hard, the Wraith 7 Lightning 2, potential Geists in there? I'm not sure if they're on that floor or not. But then you skipped later on. You skipped an eye encounter shortly after that in the Floating Fortress. Did you move from not quite feeling comfortable with your levels in the Ice Cave to feeling comfortable?
I would say so. I mean, an eye fight, back then I wanted to grab a couple quick levels. I knew there was a little bit of a risk there. The Geists were probably one of the worst enemies in that seed. I mean, for a weak enemy, they had a lot of nasty skills. But I think at that point when I was going through Flying Fortress, I think I was thinking, okay, I'll probably be able to get a couple levels here and there. Maybe I was kind of comfortable going in because I was going with the 3-party strat. So I was just that was just instinct on my part, just not knowing where Zarby was. So just wanted to try stay ahead because I felt, given how the seed was going, I really didn't think it was going to be a seed where, as you said, it sounded like I was ahead, but it didn't feel like a seed where, yeah, you're doing really good, but your opponent's probably not that far behind you either.
Mm-hmm. How happy were you to find the Masmon?
Pretty happy. Going through that, I mean, getting black belt as the starter. Obviously, with these flags, I really don't feel it's worth it. So, aside from being a sacrificial lamb at the end, which he did a fantastic job of doing, mad props to my black belt. But aside from that, good to find Masamoon. Not a lot of items, like I said, only found one ribbon, no dragon armor. Did get power glove though. Did get both white shirts. So not everything, but just enough to get by.
Mm-hmm. Looks like your opponent tonight, Zarby, does not have a. There was another question I had for you. The caravan.
Yeah.
What was your plan, and did you execute that plan, or did it evolve when you saw the max price?
Yeah, that was basically landed there. I saw, oh great, slab and its max price. So plan was basically, as soon as I had enough money for it, I'd go for it. If for some reason I had 3 orbs and I didn't, then I would probably just go sell stuff. But yeah, I had in the back of my mind, basically, as soon as I had the money, just go grab it and not forget about it. Because again, caravan's probably one of those spots that people might not think of all the time unless they do process of elimination. So when I have airship, I like to, if I haven't found the item yet, I do like to do a quick check there while I'm going around the map, just to scout it out, just to see.
Yeah, I absolutely figured that you would be very pleased with the floater. I know I had commented early on that that you deserved a good one today. You deserve to not get bounced around the world or have any serious problems. And I think the worst thing on that seed might have been the 65 grand on the slab. How do you feel about at least finishing out on a win? 2 and 3 does not get you to the playoffs, but at least you get to end on a really high note. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, going into the round, I honestly, I don't know if I want to say salty by any of the seeds, but I did feel like I got some of the worst luck in a couple of those seeds. And again, no disrespect to anyone I was facing. I mean, there were some top players, and I mean, like people like Tristel and stuff like that. I mean, they're always going to come out with their A game. But I mean, I thought it was a really good seed. I mean, I had a good feeling about going through it. happy to finish with a win, especially because, you know, there's always going to be next time. But no, I'm really happy with it, and I'm hoping, you know, definitely hoping to have some fun watching rest of the way. You know, we're gonna have the play-in race coming up next weekend, and once we get to the brackets, I think we're gonna be seeing some really, really close matchups.
Absolutely. So, of course, one last thing for you. I'd love to see you plug what you're going to be up to. So, what's next for you, GreenCleric? Like, now that the tournament's over, you know, more Final Fantasy 1, any other games on tap, you know, more streaming? What do you do?
Do want to do a little more streaming. Probably, you know, obviously still gonna stick around, maybe try, if I have time or anything, try getting in some practice races or stuff like that. Maybe see if it can help out a bit if anyone's free for tracking or stuff like that coming up in the tournament. So yeah, I mean, there's you know, hopefully, like I said, we had the tournament. You know, hopefully there's something else coming down the pipe soon. But no, you know, definitely plan on sticking around, and you know, definitely want to thank you and Will as well. I'll have to listen after, but I'm sure you guys did your usual great job tonight. And I guess thanks to Wolfman as well for not only the restream, but also rolling that very generous seat.
GC, before we wrap things up here, have you had a chance to play the entrance and floor shuffle randomizer versions that we have that we're working on in our beta and alpha?
I did one. Well, actually, yeah, one offline run of one of those, and it messes you up because basically, again, it's a fun challenge, but you know, you pretty much have to take a lot of stuff you know about the game and just throw it right out the window. So, but no, entrance and floor shuffle, again, that is something that's coming down the pipes for an official release of the randomizer, but it's definitely interesting. Guys are doing a great job with it, and it's definitely something to try out, something that I'd like to maybe get a few more rounds in of as well.
Mm-hmm. That sounds fantastic. So I think it's about that time of the night. You know, energy levels are starting to dip, but I would recommend everybody watching, please give GreenCleric a follow, give Zarby89 a follow. You know, they did great tonight. Another great show from another great pair of runners. Follow my broadcast partner, Will Cleosis, JLo7 on tracking. I've seen him all over the community, but thank you for coming out tonight and helping us out with tracking. Wolfman2000, the Restream team from Randomania. Thank you all so very much tonight. But Will, any last thoughts before we head off?
I can't wait for the bracket stage. I absolutely love the flags. I want to play in it so badly. If I can't, I'm gonna definitely sit back and certainly enjoy the guys that did make it, guys and girls that did make it, to go ahead and move on to the bracket stage. That's coming up real quick. We'll have the play-in race. I'm thinking maybe about 7 days from now, but that's a shot in the dark. Not exactly sure. It hasn't quite been scheduled yet. I just can't wait to see how this plays out. The strategies are going to change. The difficulty is going to ramp up. It's going to be all here on Randomania. We've got bonus content coming right here on Randomania, exhibition matches, a whole bunch of other stuff. I hope I can get involved in the brackets, but if I don't make it, I can't wait to call it.
Hey, best of luck with that.
Speaking of which, next match here on Randomania, 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Time. Papa Foy's against the Hangry Canuck. One shall stand, one shall fall. They're both 2-2. One will move on to the play-in race. One will not make it, fall to 2-3. It's going to be a great match. And also on our broadcast sister partner, Lord Fizzlebeef, 3-1. Pair-down match against Will Cleosis at 2-2. Very important match as far as the play-in goes. That's Sunday, July 1st. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern over on Speed Gaming. Will Cleosis must win to get to that play-in race. If he does not, he is eliminated. Lord Fizzlebeef already at least in the play-in race. Doesn't want anything to do with that. Wants to go ahead and move on to the bracket stage. Big matchup. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Again, a lot of excellent action to wrap it up. I mean, we've got matchups going all the way until Tuesday, and then before we get set up for the play-in race, which is going to be excellent. But I believe that's everything for the evening. Again, thank you all, you wonderful Final Fantasy fans, for coming out this evening. Please join our Discord, join our beautiful community. Play the fun flags, play the competitive flags, mess around with entrance shuffle. We'd love to have all of you. But for the Randomania Network and for my co-commentator, Will Cleosis, I am Demarin2. Thank you all for coming out, and have a wonderful night.